There's no doubt while looking at a retirement plan, there could be many things you got to be thinking about. In this video, I want to cover the 6 most surprising facts about retirement. Hello, welcome back to the Financial Beat YouTube channel. Those of you, this is your first time, again, thanks for stopping by. I'm the host of the channel. I'm Logan Sadler. So today on the Financial Beat, we're going to talk about a lot of different topics really kind of wrapped into one video here. We're going to talk about the 6 most surprising facts about retirement planning because those of you that know by now, I am a financial advisor out here in California, and our specialty really here at our firm is helping people get to and through retirement. So a lot more of our clients are typically, 55 years or older in that demographic typically, and kind of transitioning into retirement. So we have a lot of conversations centered around retirement planning. So today I wanted to talk about the 6 most common or most unknown facts about retirement or things that might surprise you. So the 6 most surprising facts. So let's go ahead and dive in here, right? Number 1 is it could last longer than you think, right? So a lot of you out there that I've talked with or maybe watching this video, you might think of yourself as somebody that is going to retire at age 65 and you're hoping to get to age 75, right? So you're hoping for a 10-year retirement. Some of us might think we're going to live forever, right? So there's also 2 sides of it. But in general, many people do not think that retirement is going to be that long of a period. They always want to retire early, try to pack as much as they can into that retirement plan and enjoy it. But that's a great thing, right? But here's the real facts. The real facts is this could be a very long period of your life that you're going to be retired. So a lot of people kind of undershoot their retirement, not knowing it could be a 20 to 25 to maybe even a 35-year time horizon or retirement. You figure somebody, in their 60s has a very high chance of potentially living to age 80, 85, maybe even 90. And so we've done a lot of videos on this too about longevity and things like that. But that's one of the most surprising things to people, and one of the most surprising facts is knowing that your retirement could be a lot longer than you might have envisioned. Now, number 2, I want to talk about is Social Security falling short, right? And now I'm not talking about Social Security ending. We're not going into any of that in this video. What this is actually just about is many people envision retirement, and we envision that we're going to have a retirement income, right? We want to retire, want to travel, want to play golf, whatever it is, right? We want to do stuff. Now, the biggest thing with that is Social Security typically doesn't make up a big demographic of your budget in retirement. For a lot of us lower income earners, it might make up more of it because maybe we're used to making less and taking in less each month. But some of you watching this video out there that make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, maybe $300,000 a year, you're used to living a pretty good lifestyle, right? The unfortunate part is Social Security only replaces, portions of that. Like I was actually talking with a client the other day, they made around $150,000 a year, and their budget, they were still going to want over $100,000 a year in retirement in this circumstance, and their Social Security was going to be about $60,000, right? So it made up a good chunk of it, but there still was a gap there, right? There's still not all of their retirement was covered by Social Security, and many people are surprised by that fact that Social Security doesn't make up as much of their budget as they might need. So making sure you understand your Social Security, how to maximize it and use it to your advantage, but making sure you're saving and putting your own money away and understanding how to use that in your plan is an important factor as well. Number 3 is Americans are way behind on saving, right? Believe it or not, a lot of us are not as looking forward to the future as others. A lot of us might live in the current time and really enjoy life and kind of live every moment to the fullest, which can be great. But unfortunately, when looking at retirement, if you do not have enough saved, your retirement isn't necessarily going to be your golden years. So it's very important while you're saving for retirement to understand that you need to really be saving to try to keep a similar lifestyle. Because again, most of you, not everybody, but most of you watching this video are going to want some type of a lifestyle in retirement, and maybe even a busy one, or maybe even an expensive one, traveling and enjoying it with friends and family and all that. So it's important to understand that in the old days, we had pensions, right? When you retired, you had a pension, Social Security, you had a pretty good income, you're good to go. Nowadays, what most of the employers are doing, some of you might have a pension, but what majority of employers are doing hey, why don't you put away money in this 401k and I'll match it? Now, there's a big statistics out there that a lot of people are not putting money into their retirement plan. Believe it or not, there's actually a big statistic out there of people that are not putting money in retirement plans. I think the statistic was right around, I think it was like 30-something% of people have a 401k, right, or have a retirement plan. So majority of us out there are not putting money in a 401k, which is going to lead to lack of savings in retirement. Number 4, many of us out there actually lack a retirement plan. So I've talked with people that might be 60 years old, 65 years old, 55 years old, whatever age it is, and they're retiring next year, in 5 years, in 3 years, 6 months, 1 month, tomorrow, right? I've heard it all. And so one of the biggest things is a lot of us really don't have an idea about what our retirement picture is going to look like, right? What's some healthcare costs going to look like? What is our Social Security going to look like? We've saved some money in a 401k. How much income could we realistically draw off that? Where should it be invested? Our estate plan, right? A lot of these other things that are going to come up in a retirement plan. Many of you out there, many of us, I should say, in the United States, are not as well planned, and we still lack a lot of the planning that might be needed. Number 5. Staying in the workforce, right? A surprising fact is many of us out there are in a rush to retire, which I get it, right? We all want to enjoy those golden years and enjoy things. But a lot of the problem out there is that some of us, again, because of lack of planning and maybe not saving, we might want to stay in the workforce as long as we can. Not saying work forever, but if you're 60 and want to retire at 62, maybe it makes sense to stay till 65 or 66. If you're 55 and we're thinking about going out at 58, maybe it makes sense to go out at 62, right? So I think it really makes a lot of sense to understand your retirement plan, understand what's going to be important for you, because you don't want to retire early out of the workforce, because a lot of times when we retire out, it's hard to get back in. So you want to make sure we've kind of covered that bridge beforehand and making sure, again, we've talked about that. Number 6, that is the most common, right? So that I hear people kind of forget, is Medicare does not cover the cost for assisted living, right? So long-term care situations. There is some certain programs you could use out there to maybe get some portions of an assisted living type covered. But that basically has meant you've spent all your assets, right? You have no more money left. So a lot of you, in most cases, a lot of you out there are wanting to leave behind money to your kids or a legacy or to charity, or we probably envision us spending it a whole heck of a lot different than giving it away to some type of care. So understanding what Medicare covers and what healthcare expenses will be covered in your retirement plan is another big piece to the puzzle. Like we talk about, all of this is out there. There's so many different puzzle pieces you got to put together. So it's very important you're understanding one of the most crucial things can be the long-term care component. So this is actually an article I read from Investopedia, and you guys can go check this out yourself. Again, it's a great article that highlights some good things. I'm actually going to cover a few more topics on each of these segments here later on in some other videos, because I thought they were some good ones to dive deeper on. But those are the 6 surprising facts about retirement that I think a lot of us out there should be taking a look at, and just making sure, whether you do it yourself or if you work with an advisor, making sure those are covered in your financial plan. It was great talking with all you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we're going to be back here again with the Financial Beat YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.